So why is it that the franchisors are almost always winning in court? Well, first of all, we've already talked a lot about these dangerous franchise contracts and how unjust it is to the franchisee to go in believing that their franchisor is there to take care of them, signing all of those all caps statements, signing a personal guarantee, and getting themselves into a dangerous contract, only to find out soon afterwards that the franchisor prepared that contract to develop a litigation strategy to get the franchisee in court and take all of the franchisee's franchise fee and maybe future royalties before the franchisee even knew what was going on. So there's that, but there's also the simple fact that because the franchisor has more money, the franchisor can almost guarantee a win by aggressing very, very, very heavily in court. So what happens is, you're the franchisee, you've realized that you've been defrauded, you've realized that you've signed a really scary contract, you've realized that these people are going to take your life savings, and you don't know what to do. And then the franchisor sues you, and then on come the aggressions. And this means that the franchisor is going to pay those attorneys a lot of money to start hammering you, because the franchisor knows that the franchisor has more money than you. And if you are going to withstand the franchisor's hammering, you are going to have to spend money on your attorney. And yes, you can file a counterclaim. I did that. And you can pay an attorney what you can to try and withstand the bombardment that you get from the franchisor's attorneys. But just know this, if they can outspend you, they can outspend you. So, in lawsuits, and this is a fascinating thing, I never imagined that I'd get sued by a scary corporation who would want to spend lots of money to destroy me. I mean, I just wanted to build a business, right? But the techniques start right from the very beginning. First of all, when you sign these franchise contracts, you're pretty much always signing that it will be litigated in the state where the franchisor is located. So therefore, the franchisor has an immediate advantage because the franchisor, when you're litigating in civil court, has the power to pull you to their state for depositions, and you have to pay for airfare, you have to pay for hotels, you have to show up for these depositions. The franchisor can depose you for 7 hours, cost all your money that way. The franchisor can start sending you things that are called interrogatories, where you absolutely have to, unless you can afford to pay your attorney to object, answer all of these invasive questions that your franchisor is putting to you. It just goes on and on and on, and then, that's when the motions start. So the franchisor pays their attorney to file these motions for summary judgment, which basically means that if they can get the judge to rule on their side really early on in the lawsuit, that they win the lawsuit, regardless of what your counterclaims are. You probably don't have enough money to pay your attorney to aggressively pursue your counterclaims in court, but they have enough money to pay their attorneys to aggressively pursue their motions for summary judgment, proving that you didn't do something in the contract. And remember, they've been gathering this proof from day one after you signed the contract. It started to be everything was your fault. Never mind the fact that they didn't keep their promises, even their promises in their agreement. Never mind the fact that the FDD they lied in. It doesn't matter, because they have more money, they pay their attorneys to aggress, and they are pretty darn sure that they are going to win because that strategy works. It works because they can beat you financially in court. So what is a franchisee supposed to do? The Federal Trade Commission gives us these FDDs. Supposedly, if we have this information beforehand, we will not be in a dangerous situation. But the information doesn't need to be accurate. Nobody's checking the FDDs. We've signed these personal guarantees because we believe in the American dream. And then we get to learn about the United States civil justice system and how unjust the justice system is. And in actuality, what it really turns out to be is that the civil justice system becomes a component of the fraud. The franchisors prepare to use the civil justice system before they defraud people into signing the contracts, using the unregulated FDDs that are never verified and whatever they want to do to get people to sign the dotted line. And then, after the dotted line is signed, They use the civil justice system to take the money. And the franchisee is just doesn't know how to handle a lawsuit. You're going up against an expert, litigious human being who wants nothing more than to use the power that they have over you to take your life savings. And now, when Senator Cortez Masto starts talking about the smallest pieces of reform that would start protecting these hardworking American citizens that both parties can support. Both parties can support business and hardworking American citizens seeking to move up the economic ladder, seeking to find economic mobility, seeking to follow the American dream. Both sides can support this. But now when Senator Cortez Masto introduces legislation, what happens? But the IFA starts fighting it. That's because they're making money in the wrong way. Money should not come. The money that makes franchising successful should not come from taking the livelihoods, taking the homes, taking the retirements of the franchisees. This needs to be fixed. It does.